What's up, guys? Today is another What's in My Wallet video. And so I'll be discussing exactly the cards I'll be carrying in my wallet, what I'll be using for the rest of 2024. So in this one, I'm not going to go over every single credit card I have and all the possible multipliers I could use for the rest of 2024. Rather, instead, I'll be going over the cards I'm actually going to be swiping for the rest of 2024, which really isn't that many cards. So stay tuned and you'll see why. And then after I go over the cards in my wallet, I'll also go over my credit card roadmap for the rest of 2024 because I honestly kind of need some help determining what cards I want to get, but I do plan on applying for at least one, if not two more credit cards before the end of the year. So if you enjoy these types of videos, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also take a look in the description to see the current credit cards I have in my wallet or my wife's wallet. And if you plan on applying for any of those cards, I would really appreciate it if you used one of my referral links, as it would definitely help support the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. So take a look at those. But otherwise, let's go ahead and jump into the video. All right, so what's in my wallet? What is the first card I'll be using for the rest of the year? Well, there's the card I've already applied for, and I'm currently working on the sign-up bonus, and that is the IHG Premier Business credit card. I applied for this card back in May when it had the elevated offer of earning 175,000 points after spending $7,000 in the first 6 months. That's technically broken out into 2 3 month increments, but I'm just counting it as one sub in 6 months, as I'm sure I'm going to hit the $4,000 spend in 3 months. So we're all good there. But because it's only been about a month and a half, I do still have to spend on the card. So for now, this is the primary card in my wallet, as I'm putting most of pretty much all of my spend actually on this credit card because I am going for that elevated sub. The nice thing about this card is that even though it does earn IHG points rather than, say, a transferable currency like Chase UR or Amex MR points, the multiplier on the IHG Premier card is actually still pretty good. It earns 5x points on pretty much the main categories, which include dining and gas. At least those are my main categories. And then you earn 3x points on everything else. So even though I'd be spending on this card regardless because I want that sign up bonus, it is nice knowing I'm earning a solid amount of points thanks to those multipliers that are at least half decent, even though it's IHG points. I got this card, of course, because of the elevated sign up bonus, but also some of the other perks, such as the platinum status I will get with this card, which I will be staying at some IHG properties later in this year. So I'm excited to see the platinum status and the benefits that come with it. And if you want to hear some more details about why I applied for the card, then feel free to check out one of my previous videos where I talk about the IHG Premier and also why I applied for the IHG Premier Business card. Because honestly, I do think it's one of the best hotel keeper cards on the market because of all the benefits that come with it. And honestly, IHG is a pretty solid program. All right, so that's the first card in my wallet. Moving on to the second card in my wallet, this is actually the Chase Freedom Flex. Now, the reason this card is in my wallet is because, of course, the elevated Chase UR points you can get with the Freedom Flex. I know many people don't like rotating categories, but you also can't earn 5x UR points on pretty much any other UR card besides a few exceptions like the Ink Cash or using the Chase Travel Portal, stuff like that. But for the most part, on common categories without having to go out of your way for gift cards, that sort of thing, the Freedom Flex is your best bet. And so in my case, I'll be using it for the Q3 categories, which include gas stations, EV charging, and entertainment. Specifically for me, I'll be using it for gas stations because I am going into the office more now. And so that means I am using more gas. Beforehand, I really wasn't using too much. It was a pretty low category spend, to be honest. But now I'm spending a bit more. My car isn't like a gas guzzler or anything, but still I'm spending a little more in gas. And so even though I might need to spend on a card that I'm working on a sign up bonus for, if I can squeeze in a Freedom Flex purchase on some gas stations here and there, just to get a couple $100 on the card, earning 5x UR points, then I'm going to do it. I'm in a position right now where I should hit that IHG Premier Business sign up bonus. And so putting a little bit of spend on the Freedom Flex shouldn't hurt me too much. That way I can get some bonus Chase UR points. All right, so moving on from the second card onto the third card in my wallet, this is actually the American Express Gold card. Now, I feel like it's going to shock a few of you because a lot of people have been bashing on the Amex Gold card and that it's just not right for them, which I'm glad people are realizing that some of the Amex credits and benefits that come on those cards that are really those annoying monthly credits aren't meant for them, because you should not be applying or holding a card that is not right for your current situation. But luckily for me, the Amex Gold card does fit my situation. I do go to eat at least a few times a month. And in this case, I just order on Uber Eats or Grubhub instead of ordering on the specific app for that restaurant. And then I'm able to use those credits. Not only that, but because of that Grubhub guarantee credit where you can earn like over $400 on the Amex Gold card with all the credits combined, which I did make a video on that. So if you are curious on what that is, check out that video up here. But thanks to that hack, I mean, this card is a no-brainer for me, and I'm happy to use that Grubhub guarantee hack. So I'm not like truly spending on the Amex Gold card and putting a lot of spend for groceries or dining or whatever it is, but I am using it for those credits. And because I'm using the Grubhub guarantee hack, I am putting at least, I'd say, like 5 to 6 transactions on the Amex Gold. So it is something. But as you can see, those few transactions per month really isn't a lot because my main focus right now is earning some sign up bonuses. And so, because of that, those are the only 3 cards that are actually in my wallet right now. Technically, I do carry around my Capital One Venture X because I earn 2x on everything. And so sometimes there's an issue for whatever reason I can't use a specific card. The Venture X is a Visa Infinite card. I earn 2x on it. It's my old reliable card that I just keep in my wallet. But that then leads me into the next part of this video, which is my credit card roadmap for the remainder of 2024. So, as I mentioned earlier, I am working on the sub for the IHG Premier Business card, but I should finish that up, I'd say in 3-ish months from now, at least, maybe a little less if I'm lucky. Depends what I'm spending on, you know what I'm saying? But regardless, my next card I do plan on applying for is a Chase Ink card. Which ink card? Well, that's up in the air right now. My original plan was to apply for the Ink Cash card right before they dropped the referral bonus from 40,000 points to 20,000 points. The reason I was going to do this is because I currently have an Ink card. I can refer my wife to an Ink card. She can apply for that Ink Cash card, and then that way we can get the 40,000 point referral as well as the 75,000 points that comes with the card as a sign up bonus. So the plan was to do that right before that cutoff, which is, I believe, September 3rd, 2024. So right before that, I was going to apply for the card, which would then get us the sign up bonus for her as well as the referral bonus for me. However, the Chase Ink Preferred card should have an elevated offer here in just a couple of days. I believe it's already elevated in branch, but of course I have to wait for the online version. That way I can refer my wife to it. And that is 120,000 points after $8,000 in spend in 3 months. Now, the problem I'm having with this and why I'm in a predicament is because one, $8,000 in 3 months is quite a lot of money. Two is I'm still working on the IHG Premier Business sign up bonus. And if this Ink Preferred is elevated in the month of July, I'm assuming it's going to end probably the beginning of August, then I don't want to put myself in a situation where I have 2 sign up bonuses I have to go for. Both of them are quite a lot of money in a short amount of time. So at that point, it comes down to when does that Ink Preferred elevated sign up bonus come into play and when does it expire? And if it expires before I can finish the IHG Premier sign up bonus, then in that case, I probably will not get the Ink Preferred. So right now it's up in the air. We'll have to see how it plays out. But if I had to guess, I'm probably not going to get the Preferred because I just will not have the spend to accommodate that, assuming I don't finish the Premier and also that the Preferred elevated sub goes away before I can. So most likely I'll be sticking to the original strategy of applying for the Ink Cash card right before that cutoff mark, so the very beginning of September or the end of August, depending. And at that point, I'll apply for the Ink Cash, work on that for about 3 months. But then there's another situation that comes into play. So at the end of November, my wife and I will be going on a trip to Asia. And so the problem there is if I have the Ink Cash card, I want to work on that sign up bonus. Well, the Ink Cash does have foreign transaction fees, so I can't bring that card with us on that trip. But with the Ink Cash, there's 2 situations. If I have a lot of spend going on with the Ink Cash, I could potentially finish it in 3 months, which is right when I'm going on the trip. Or it's also a 6 month card because of that new offer that's on the card. And so maybe I apply for another card that has no foreign transaction fees, but the spend on it would have to be much lower because then I'm doing 2 subs at the same time. So I could put a ton of spend on the Ink Cash right up until that cutoff of when I go on that trip. Then I apply for the other card and bring that card with us on that trip, assuming it has no foreign transaction fees. Work on the sub while we're on vacation because we all know when you're on vacation, you're going to spend a bit more money. Then when I come back, I can finish the Ink Cash sub if I haven't finished it already. And then after I finish that, go back to the other sub on the other card I applied for. And this is where it gets really sticky. So as you can see, I really don't know what to do for my credit card roadmap. So I wanted to talk about it, get some others' opinions. So leave a comment down below on what you think I should do because I really don't know. Not only that, but I did just make a video discussing the American Express Platinum card, and the Platinum isn't necessarily for me long term, but that new elevated 175,000 point bonus, I mean, it's just too good to pass up. So that's another card I would like to apply for in the future because it is a transferable currency I can kind of hang on to for a little bit if need be. But that can't be the card I apply for before that Asia trip because American Express typically isn't accepted worldwide. So if I'm leaving the United States, I don't really want to rely on an Amex credit card. So I can't apply for that card beforehand. So it's like, what do I apply for? Of course, elevated subs come and go, and in a few months, there could be multiple elevated subs on different credit cards. You just never know. And at that point, I can make a decision on what to get then. But right now, I'm kind of in limbo, which I know for a lot of you guys is probably kind of weird because content creators typically have like a solid roadmap of the credit cards that they want to get in the future. I mean, up to like a year in advance. There might be a few deviations here and there, but I truly do not know what to do in the future. I mean, I have two cards I'm debating on for my next card. Really depends on how the subs work out. And then beyond that, it's completely up in the air depending on how much money you can spend on those subs, the foreign transaction fees, the timing of everything. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into it because, well, I'm a nerd in this space. And I like to be extremely efficient when possible. So if I can pull this off, that'd be great. But I mean, if I have to just use my typical everyday cards while we're on vacation and not work on a sign up bonus, then it is what it is. So please let me know down below in the comments what you think I should do and if you have any recommendations. But otherwise, that's all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also check out the video on screen that YouTube highly recommends if you haven't seen it already. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys in the next one.